India at the forefront. Leadership, security, global respect. India's unity redefined through strength. A trusted voice in global diplomacy. Rescue missions that saved millions. Zero tolerance on terror. Record-breaking defense exports. Neighborhood first to global first. विकसित भारत का अमृत काल, सेवा, सुशासन, गरीब कल्याण के 11 साल। Reimagining India's global identity. Over the past 11 years, India's approach to national security and diplomacy has undergone a strategic transformation. Rooted in the principle of nation first, the policy has reinforced internal unity and projected strength globally. By combining the philosophy of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas with dynamic foreign outreach, India has redefined its image from a reactive participant to a proactive leader on global matters. This change has elevated India's global stature, giving it a seat at major multilateral tables and aligning national security with developmental priorities.
आज भारत को सम्मान मिलता है, हर कोने से भारत को शुभकामनाएं मिलती हैं। वो सम्मान सिर्फ मोदी का नहीं है, वो सम्मान हर भारतीय का है, आप सबका है।
India is not one day affair. India is a culture that has continued for thousands of years. The realization of the culture has recently come in, which makes last 11 years very, very important and crucial. And therefore, when you look at the entire history, you find that the change in the perception, the change in the awareness of not only the government, but across the nation has undergone a change.
Strategic neighbors, expanding horizon. India's foreign policy today blends realism with ancient wisdom. Under the Neighborhood First and Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam pillars, India's extended humanitarian assistance during global crisis stood first in regional partnerships and emphasized cultural diplomacy. Initiatives like Act East, Connect Central Asia, and Think West have redefined India's outreach. During its G20 presidency, India led with the theme One Earth, One Family, One Future, hosting over 200 meetings across 60 cities. It wasn't just diplomacy. It was a display of soft power, global thought leadership, and inclusive governance.
भारत ने G20 का सफल सम्मेलन किया तो ये आपके आशीर्वाद से हुआ।
From crisis to compassion. When global disasters struck, India responded, not just for its own, but for the world, through missions like Vande Bharat, Operation Ganga, and Vaccine Maitri. India proved its resolve to protect lives. Over 3 crore Indians were brought home safely and over 100 nations received vaccines. These efforts transformed the perception of Indian diplomacy, from protocol-driven formality to compassionate action. Every Indian abroad today knows if a crisis arises, their nation will stand beside them.
कोविड के समय में लाखों लोग हमारे नागरिक बाहर थे, वापस आ नहीं पाए, लॉकडाउन वगैरह हो गए थे, फ्लाइट्स कैंसिल हो गए थे। तो उसके जब भी मतलब उचित था तो ये सबसे दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा एवैक्यूएशन ऑपरेशन वंदे भारत ऑपरेशन लॉन्च हुआ था और उसमें से लाखों हमारे नागरिक वापस आए थे, मतलब स्मूथली आए थे। इनका क्वारंटीन भी हुआ आने के बाद ताकि इन्फेक्शन स्प्रेड ना हो और इनको मतलब अच्छी तरह सेटल किया गया, अपने घरों में वापस जा पाए। उसके बाद आपने देखा कि यूक्रेन के समय में बहुत ही बड़ा युद्ध हो रहा था। हमारे 22,000 भारतीय स्टूडेंट यूक्रेन में थे, कई तो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट जोन में थे जैसे कि सुमी और खार्किव में। तो उनको कैसे वहाँ से इवैक्यूएट किया, कैसे मतलब प्रोसेस कैसे वापस लाए, और इन सर्कमस्टांसेस, ऐसे सर्कमस्टांसेस में कैसे मतलब हमने इनको इवैक्यूएट किया। और इसके मतलब ओवरसाइट पूरी तरह प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने ही किया, क्योंकि उन्होंने हर रोज़ एक रिव्यू मीटिंग लिया सभी के साथ।
Vaccine diplomacy, the soft power, the way he's outreached in times of trouble to every segment of the world is also, we are actually punching above our weight.
Rapid response protocols. To institutionalize its swift action, India established rapid response cells in the Ministry of External Affairs. These were not merely bureaucratic measures. They were real-time lifelines, from rescuing nurses held by ISIS in Iraq to evacuating religious texts from Afghanistan with honor. The cells executed high-risk exactions with precision. Operations in Syria, Nepal, Libya, and Yemen highlighted India's ability to deploy, respond, and resolve. This preparedness today defines India's global credibility in humanitarian rescue. Strategic technology partnerships. In the new world order, technology defines power. India leveraged this by forging high-tech alliances with France, the United States, and others. From artificial intelligence and civil nuclear partnerships to space collaboration with ISRO NASA, India entered the League of Innovative Nations. Agreements with France in clean energy and with the US under the India-US Compact have unlocked cooperation in defense production, cybersecurity, and emerging technology. India is not just importing innovation, it is shaping it.
When you look at America and France with economic relations and defense relations with India, we find that both are okay for us. We've taken Reaper from America, our drones from them. We've taken the guns from Americans. But when it comes to our interest in the present context, I think we'll have to balance it out. We are neither against America or France. We are in favor of our own sovereignty, our own growth, and therefore whosoever fits our bill the best, we will make friends with them.
Firm response to terror. India's policy on terrorism has been one of unflinching resolve. Post Uri and Pulwama, India demonstrated its ability to respond with strength. Surgical and air strikes shifted the global narrative. Operation Sindoor in 2025 again showed that India will not tolerate cross-border terror. More importantly, India internationalized the conversation around terror, isolating sponsors like Pakistan diplomatically. This message is now clear. India's sovereignty is non-negotiable, and its response will always be swift and sovereign.
2016, the Uri, 2019, Pulwama, and now, of course, Pahalgam. So if you first come to 2016, it was the first time that we increased the pain for Pakistan. We went beyond diplomacy and strategic restraint. Though, if you look at Op Sindoor, again we have shown strategic restraint because we have not hit civilian targets. Well, the message was conveyed, and if you look at all these years, there have not been any major terrorist attack in any area outside J&K. So, in our security terminology, we talk about the hinterland. Our hinterland has not been affected. I think that message went very clear that there will be hell to pay.
ये जो अमृत काल का दौर है, ये चुनौतियों से भरा है. So while we should be proud of Sindoor, we have to be cautious of the threats from Pakistan, China. But the way this government is shaping its military, its strategic military system, इन्होंने नींव डाली है for India to become a defense powerhouse. Not a military with jackboots around the world, but a restrained, calibrated, technologically enabled military. हम किसी पे वार नहीं करेंगे, पर अगर आप हमको छेड़ोगे, हम आपको छोड़ेंगे नहीं.
New legal framework for unity. Jammu and Kashmir's complete integration into the Indian Union marked a bold moment in India's internal security framework. With the abrogation of Article 370, a new era of governance began, delivering development, transparency, and security in the region. Over 100 central laws were implemented and local participation surged. The move was not merely political, it was strategic, ensuring peace in a region long destabilized by external actors.
It has transformed Kashmir, not only security, but the economy, the politics, and prosperity.
Defense export breakthrough. India is no longer just a buyer, it's a defense supplier. With exports rising from rupees 1,500 crore to over 21,000 crore, India's weapon systems, radars, and missiles now serve more than 85 countries. The shift is supported by Make in India, defense corridors in Tamil Nadu and UP, and simplification of export approvals. Today, Indian defense firms are global competitors.
अगर मैं 2011 और 13 के बीच की बात करूं, if I take that period, our net export was barely 686 crores. Today, our defense export in 23-24 crossed 21,000 crores. Why? Why this change? Earlier we were dependent, we bought the equipment and we paid for it. The realization that has come that the capability exists within India. हिंदुस्तानी पूरे विदेश में जाकर के छाए हुए हैं. Why can't we do the same within the country? It is just the opportunity. Have faith in the Indian population, have faith in the Indian private sector, and they can deliver. What has happened in last 10 years, 11 years of the present government rule is that we have enabled, facilitated, and encouraged the private sector and our PSUs, defense sector units.
Self-reliant in defense manufacturing. India is reshaping its security architecture with homegrown innovation. Over 400 items have been moved to the positive indigenization list. Fighter jets, naval vessels, and advanced artillery are being built indigenously. HAL, DRDO, and Bharat Dynamics are now joined by dozens of private players, collectively reducing dependency and boosting employment in high-tech sectors.
जो हमारी long term जो हमारी policy है, that is आत्मनिर्भरता, so that we can produce everything at home. So like BrahMos, like Akash, many of these startups should be able to give us many technologies, loiter, space, this, that. So our aim is to diversify our inventory to make sure that our operational gaps are minimized. But the core emphasis remains on Atmanirbharta. कोशिश ये है कि सब कुछ यहीं बने.
The indigenization roadmap. India's 3 defense corridors, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Gujarat, are attracting billions in investment. Defense budgets now allocate capital for local purchases, while offset policies incentivize tech transfer. These policies are laying the foundation for India's emergence as a defense manufacturing hub, aligned with the Atmanirbhar Bharat vision.
साथियों, 21वीं सदी के भारत का सैन्य सामर्थ्य भी अधिक सक्षम हो, आधुनिक हो, ये देश की प्राथमिकताओं में से एक है. जब भारत का सैनिक भारत में बने साजो सामान के साथ आगे बढ़ता है तो उसका आत्मविश्वास भी कुछ अलग ही होता है. आज भारत का डिफेंस प्रोडक्शन 1.25 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा हो चुका है. हम 100 से ज्यादा देशों को डिफेंस इक्विपमेंट एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. मुझे विश्वास है आपके सहयोग से आज भारत तेजी से अपने डिफेंस सेक्टर का कायाकल्प करके दिखाएगा.
Guardians of cyberspace. As threats evolve, so does India's defense. With cyber command units, digital forensic labs, and AI-enabled surveillance, India's cyber security infrastructure is among the world's fastest developing. Partnerships with Israel, USA, and Japan have made cyber policy robust, offensive-ready, and resilient to hybrid warfare. In the digital age, security isn't just at the borders. It's in code, in clouds, and in critical infrastructure.
The first time in the history of independent India actually have mandated that the moment you come to know of a cyber security breach, you will have to mandatorily report this to the nodal agency on cyber security, being the Computer Emergency Response Team of India. Now, by making it mandatory and by providing legal consequences for non-reporting, you've actually now created an ecosystem where the government can know where the loopholes are, and it can take speedy, expeditious action for the purposes of going ahead and filling up those particular loopholes.
The Indo-Pacific Doctrine. India's maritime rise is anchored in its Indo-Pacific strategy. As a net security provider, India engages in joint naval exercises with the US, Australia, Japan, and ASEAN nations. Infrastructure like the Andaman Command, coastal radar chains, and Sagar Vision ensures safe trade routes and geopolitical presence. This is India's ocean of opportunity and responsibility.
साथियों, बहुत लंबे समय तक बॉर्डर और कोस्टलाइन से जुड़े कनेक्टिविटी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर उतना ध्यान नहीं दिया गया। बीते सालों में इसके लिए भी अभूतपूर्व काम हुआ है। बीते दशक में अपने दूर सुदूर के आइलैंड्स पर भी हमने फोकस किया है। जहां कोई भी नहीं रहता, उन आइलैंड्स की भी रेगुलर मॉनिटरिंग की जा रही है।
Empowering defense startups. Through IDEX, or Innovations for Defense Excellence, India is cultivating a vibrant startup ecosystem in defense. Over 300 startups are developing solutions for the armed forces, ranging from drones to battlefield sensors. These agile innovators bridge the gap between strategy and execution, bringing speed, creativity, and frugality to national security technology.
आज डिफेंस R&D को प्राइवेट सेक्टर, एकेडेमिया, MSMEs और स्टार्टअप्स के लिए खोल दिया गया। अपनी पब्लिक सेक्टर डिफेंस कंपनियों को हमने अलग अलग सेक्टर में संगठित कर उन्हें एक नई ताकत दी है। आज हम ये सुनिश्चित कर रहे हैं कि IIT जैसे अपने प्रीमियर इंस्टीट्यूशन को भी हम डिफेंस रिसर्च और इनोवेशन से कैसे जोड़ें। NII हो, IDEX हो या फिर TDEC, ये सभी आत्मनिर्भरता के ऐसे ही विराट संकल्पों को गति देने वाले हैं।
Digital borders, digital sovereignty. India's digital sovereignty is now policy. With data localization, robust encryption laws, and indigenous platforms like Beam and DigiLocker, the country is asserting control over its digital future. This ensures that Indian data remains in Indian hands and that our platforms remain secure from external control.
It is under the thought leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi that India has seen the passage of its first law on data protection, being the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. A game-changing legislation which for the first time puts Indians as data principles the center of the universe. Till now, so far, the data of Indians has been used with impunity without any accountability by service providers. For the first time, this law has granted the respect, the regard to Indians as data principles and have straddled various responsibilities for data fiduciaries and data processors. It's under his tenure that we've seen the draft Digital Personal Data Protection Rules 2025, which have gone ahead and tried to once again put a new effective data protection legal regime in the country.
Space diplomacy and strategic presence. India's space missions like Chandrayaan, Aditya L1 and Gangayaan are not just scientific, they are diplomatic. ISRO's collaboration with dozens of nations shows India's peaceful use of space, while defense satellites ensure secure communication. India's presence in outer space now complements its geopolitical ambitions on Earth. Global humanitarian leader. From sending aid to Turkey earthquake victims to delivering vaccines to Africa and emergency food to Sri Lanka, India has emerged as a global responder. The principle of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam has found tangible meaning in every airlift and relief mission. India helps not just because it can, but because it should. India's voice in a divided world. In the fractured global order, India speaks with clarity and conviction. Whether at the United Nations, BRICS, SCO or G20, India's calls for reforms, multipolarity and human-centric development is now mainstream. It doesn't pick sides. It sets the terms of engagement, balancing strategic autonomy with responsible leadership.
India has earned itself a reputation of being a responsible global player, and most global powers therefore want to engage with India, and we see an example of this in the G7, where the host government of Canada said that it was impossible to keep an economy and a country like India out of the room or off the table, because India matters.
India has taken the lead. This is no longer the India of the past. With confidence, compassion and clarity, India has reshaped the contours of foreign policy and national security. It is not only protecting its own, it is shaping the global order. From self-reliance in arms to self-confidence in dialogue, India leads with a vision, and the world is listening.